Hello, dear friends. Everything seems to be set for an eventful week. Opinion piece, cracks in reality, higher timeline, clash of energies, movement of force, end of a great cycle, gap between systems. The transition will not be subtle. Erich von Däniken has passed away. Let's start. Reality is being restructured due to a crack in the Earth's magnetic field that allows the massive influx of cosmic light, triggering the dissolution of an illusory reality and the birth of a new era of love and truth, according to Kerry Kay. This magnetic field acts as a shield against cosmic rays, but now it has cracks that inject intense light, causing reality to unravel, noisier, more chaotic, and without temporary buffers. Kerry describes the current chaos as a higher timeline that is being purified. Illusions, entities, and densities become visible to be transmuted. Emotions like rage, despair, or crying are temporary discharges of inner darkness, not personal failings. Not judging them accelerates their dissolution. Love and light emerge simultaneously, like dogs choosing owners who activate their tender hearts. According to Kate Montana, our world has been under the control of a powerful influence implicated in the degeneration of humankind for thousands of years. Priests and shamans, philosophers and mystics from all cultures have described and named this hostile and inhuman presence. For the ancient Greeks, they were the archons. Jung called this deceptive force antimimos, the imitative and malignant principle, and likened it to the Antichrist. Gurdjieff called it the machine. Sri Aurobindo called it hostile forces. Hollywood portrays these entities as physical vampires. Philosophers and science fiction writers refer to this presence as mental parasites. Opinions. Something has changed according to Zachary Fisher. We have crossed a threshold and most people can feel it. You don't need a theory or someone's publication to tell you. You feel it in your body. Time feels different. Weeks disappear, but everything feels closer and more intense at the same time. With the takeoff of 2026, the fire energy activates what was already prepared. This is the year of movement, momentum, and embodied power. Many will anchor higher dimensional consciousness in everyday life, expressing spiritual awareness through grounded human action. According to the Ascension Lightworkers, the souls who choose darkness and attempted to destroy Earth will suffer the consequences. When there is a movement of darkness, there is an equivalent movement of light. Light prevails over darkness because it has a higher frequency that dissipates the lower vibration of darkness. Never before has there been an energy clash like this. A great cycle has ended, according to the Pleiadian Council of Light through Celia Wilder. Earth is undergoing a profound transformation. This revolutionary leap is transforming the very foundations of existence. A great 26,000-year cycle has come to an end. This transition will not be subtle. It is destined to unfold as an act of divine intervention. Never before has a civilization been elevated to a higher spectrum of consciousness by such means. Reset News. Fed chairman faces criminal prosecution. Trump calls for a cap on credit card interest rates. Governments are stepping up audits and compliance in the banking sector for a stable currency revaluation. Before currencies are revaluated, institutions must be law-abiding, transparent, and solvent. The green light isn't a matter of speed. It's a global financial restructuring, according to Seeds of Wisdom. Green light, according to Mr. Poole. This was never supposed to be loud. No sirens, no emergency alerts, no press conferences. A single code was introduced into the quantum system, into the quantum string. No name, no visible signature, just confirmation that the final stimulation sequence has passed to execution. The effect was immediate. Within minutes, media, finance, and defense systems went into passive compliance mode. They weren't shut down or exposed. They were placed on standby. This is how real transitions begin. Satellite transponders of the key urban centers were discreetly reassigned. There is no blackout yet, just a change in who holds the keys. When the switch is flipped, it won't be the season's once entertainment. It will be evidence. Heavy airlift assets were activated from several strategic points with bypassed flight paths and classified cargo. This isn't troop deployment, but extraction operations. Some people are leaving their posts. Others are leaving the map altogether. Mobile ecosystems for civil channel readiness received an inactive patch with emergency broadcast priority. No update is requested. User consent is not required. When the signal is triggered, no permission will be requested. The first phase consists of maintaining the market freezing liquidity disguised as a technical adjustment and isolating the account. The second phase will be presented as a cybersecurity review to prevent capital flight during system migration. The third phase consists of transforming the quantum ledger, cancelling debt records at their source, and erasing fictitious liabilities. The fourth phase consists of cancelling transmission on all screens, on all bands, and in all languages, without skips, comment, or loops. The fifth phase consists of implementing sealed, unannounced, and undiscussed accusations. The sixth phase consists of releasing credit. It is not stimulus or a donation, but restoration. Value will be assigned by weight, by contribution, and by verification. When this happens, the world you knew will not collapse. It will simply stop updating. There will be confusion. There will be silence. There will be a moment when nothing seems real. That's the gap between systems. Don't consult mainstream sources. They will freeze, repeating old scripts and to an empty audience. There will be no second feeding, no support, no explanations. You will either be watching from the inside or updating a page that no longer exists. Stay calm, stay observant, get away from the noise. It was never about panic, it was about precision. The transition isn't coming, it's already underway. God wins. Geopolitics. The old world order is being destroyed before the eyes of the world. The price of raw materials such as silver, gold, and oil increases. Parallel economic systems develop as the US begins to distance itself from the central banking system. China suspends purchases of US chips, freezes Venezuelan assets, and Trump allocates $1.5 trillion to the military, according to Xinfu. the same mistake as the Roman Empire. Ancient Rome's decision to devalue the silver denarius mirrors the money printing that occurs today, according to the wealth historian. We wish to live on a harmonious planet where all nations can coexist until we no longer feel the need for borders and can exist a single united human collective, according to Daniel Scranton. According to Dr. Xavi, this year a much larger part of humanity will be shaken and will demand detailed answers from the world leaders about certain events, and groups around the world will take to the streets to protest. According to Ismael Perez, the emergence of a North American federation will be one of 22 federated regions that will replace the world order, uniting the US, Canada, Mexico, and Greenland into a single continental federation. This is not a collapse of sovereignty, but a reorganization of civilization. Europe. Erich von Däniken has died in a hospital in Bern, Switzerland. Europe has no intention of seeking peace with Russia, according to Martin Armstrong. Berlin has been without electricity and heating for 5 days. This is the longest blackout in the German capital since World War II. French farmers take over Paris. This could mean the end of the EU and Macron. Belgium wants to house foreign prisoners in other countries such as Kosovo. 1 in 2 Europeans will look for a new job in 2026, but most feel ill-prepared. Americas. Colombia and Mexico submit to the US war on drugs. Colombia mourns the death of singer Jason Jimenez, who died in a plane crash. The US is reinstalling a water barrier on the border with Mexico. The military operation in Venezuela is not over. The US used a sonic weapon during Maduro's capture. The US is urging its citizens to leave Venezuela for their safety. Trump publishes an image proclaiming itself interim president of Venezuela. Trump warns Cuba that it will no longer receive money or oil from Venezuela. Argentina paid $4.2 billion to bondholders. Argentine Patagonia is protected from sale unless there is a forest fire, but there has been a wave of mysterious fires in recent months. 8 out of 10 Chileans believe that money and power influence judicial rulings. Deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon decreased by approximately 9% by 2025. Asia. China is playing the long game by accumulating wealth, much like Sun Tzu in The Art of War. The US launches new attacks against ISIS in Syria against Daesh in Syria, after a deadly ambush. Iraq will become one of the 4 major oil producers in the Middle East. Vietnam has established itself as a key player with an economic growth rate of 8% in 2025. Iranians set fire to 50 banks as their elite escaped to Russia with $5.2 billion. Iran is close to regime change as the US prepares to defend protesters, according to the New York Post. A massive power grid failure plunged the Iranian capital and 16 provinces into darkness. Crowds fill the streets chanting, "Death to the dictator," and security forces deployed live ammunition. This comes days after Delta Force was deployed to the Iraq-Iran border. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.